I have so much to say about ELA, you guys. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm quickly realizing that I may be not just an eclectic homeschool mom, but a hugely, heavily literature-based parent as well. There's a lot here. Hi, you guys. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I am the homeschool mom to a no longer 9-year-old girl. She's just 10 now, so we had a birthday. And we're here homeschooling in North Dakota. If you don't have your curricula yet, don't freak out over it. Most of us who are on video are doing it just to give you guys ideas, but please don't feel like, especially if you get ads for sales and stuff, don't feel like that will be the only sale. It won't be. So take your time and consider everything that people are doing. My way is my right way. It is not your right way. So think about this as ideas, but nothing that you have to do. And if you've got any input for me, I love hearing from you. I have a shout out to Paula Hillman. Paula, I'm going to talk about the book that you suggested today because I'm almost finished with it. It's amazing. I'm actually underscoring it too much. And so I'm trying to slow down because there's no point in underlining every sentence. So thank you for that. I will talk about that in a little bit. Let's get started. Let's go from this way to this way. So creative writing's over here. Follow me. We had this year we had done a sentence a day and a question a day that Morgan has been working on in the morning for writing. And this coming year for 5th grade, I'm giving her an unprompted writing area so she can just write freely for 1 minute a day or 2 minutes a day as she wants. So that will start off our writing or creative writing. She likes to do that in the morning. And I picked Creative Writer. I got this off Well Trained Mind, Level 1, 5-Finger Exercises by Boris Fishman. I like this because it doesn't only talk about fiction. Part 1 is fiction, but Part 2 is how to write poetry. And that's really important to us because we spend a lot of time on poetry in this house. I also picked, this is one of 2, but I'll do a more thorough creative writing video for you later. But with the workbook, I have how to write a novel before you turn 13, and each chapter in here coincides with a workbook chapter here, and I think she would like that. If we're rusty coming into 5th grade, and Morgan knows how to write a paragraph, but if we're rusty, I liked this when I saw it on Amazon, how to write an awesome paragraph step by step. So if she wants just to kind of dip her toe back in gently before we jump into creative writing or anything else, this is a very thin, very easy workbook. It walks you through everything. Don't repeat your words too much. Specific facts, transitions, upgrading in details, adding relevant details. And it's nice, clean kind of work that you can do. I suspect this will be gone in the 1st or 2nd week of school. She'll either finish it or get sick of it and move on to the creative writing meat of it. Let's move on to spelling. Morgan is finishing up with Explode the Code 3. And she likes it. She's been doing it on her own. So I got Explode the Code 4 for her. We'll probably actually move into this for summer school too. We have a lot of extra time on Fridays, and there's some things that she would like to do that are kind of fun. We hate crossword puzzles though, or that the jumble of find the word in the hidden letters. We both hate that. But Morgan will work on daily word ladders. So she likes these, and I think that'll help her, both her vocabulary and her writing. Somebody mentioned this on a channel, Vocabulary Cartoon of the Day, and I liked the idea of it because some of it's kind of funny, and it's a nice way to introduce kind of a simple way for kids to read and learn vocabulary on their own. There's a lot of the stuff Morgan can do on Friday during some free time, free school time, or in the afternoon or in the morning if she wants for her morning routine. Let's go on to grammar. We started with 2 types of grammar this year in our first year of homeschooling, and we are going to keep doing those 2 types of grammar. We really like both of them for different reasons. Morgan is finishing up Nose Tree, IEW's Fix-It Grammar. She'll be finished with this. So we're moving right on to the next one. The next level 2, is Town Mouse, Country Mouse. This also Morgan does on her own in the morning. In fact, she knows where the key is, the answer book for the parents. So whenever she wants to just double check her work, she goes and does that herself. So she's completely on her own with this. She enjoys doing it on her own. We are finishing up lessons, first language lessons for the well-trained mind, level 4. It's the last book. So the next one, the next book up is more like a color-coded series, and you can pick any color to start. There's blue, there's yellow, there's purple, and there's red, and it doesn't matter where you begin. Morgan picked purple. So we have this one's the key. Grammar for the Well-Trained Mind, the workbook and the key. And it attached, so I think I bought the PDF for the actual workbook, and it comes with, this is something that may take longer than a year. Read the reviews. It gets increasingly or exponentially difficult as you go on. You don't have to feel like you haven't failed. Take your time with it. And if it takes you longer than a year, it takes you longer than a year. There's no timeline. After you finish their first lessons, there's no timeline for this stuff. You just work on it whenever you want. Because pretty much Morgan's already had all of the grammar she needs. Now it's just honing her skills and increasing her knowledge of how to diagram a sentence, which is something we really enjoy doing. With that, I got the diagramming dictionary and how to diagram any sentence. This isn't a requirement. I just got it from my own reference. But what you do need for any of the color-coded books for the Well-Trained Mind grammar series is the core instructor text. It'll be green, and it'll say years 1 through 4 on it. You need this book. Get this book. And that's our grammar, and we're sticking to it. The next thing is, what is the next thing? Oh gosh, literature. How could I forget? Oh my goodness. We are really heavy literature based, very recently so, since January. I can't read enough to my own kid. She's just gobbling it up, and she's also enjoying reading her own books. So this is separate from what she reads. I help her pick kind of fun, entertaining books for her to read, anything from James Ponti to Madeleine L'Engle to Laura Ingalls Wilder, all sorts of things. Erin Hunt, I think, for the Warrior series. Those are grade level books that she enjoys reading, that she'll sit down over here in the chair, she'll curl up and she'll read. Now, what I'm talking about is the stuff that I'm going to help her with, the higher order of literature where I'm reading aloud to her because she can listen and comprehend far above her reading and writing level. So with that, I'm going to break it up. We're going to cover plays. We're going to do Shakespeare for the first time next year. We will do short stories, articles and essays, fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. We are going to cover an array of, I've got my sticky so I don't forget, but one of the biggest things that is important is I want to have international representation. I want to have an array of eras, all different types of genres, and I want a lot to be female writers. And I also find it incredibly important to show Morgan that there are women ahead of her who are doing amazing things. And too often, I think we focus on a very specific type of history or author, and they're all male American or British authors. And so for me, I'm paying particular attention to have a wholly kind of integrated, multicultural, dual gender, the whole works, international type of presence in our literature. Also because world schooling is important to us. We will be going all over the world in the future, and I want Morgan to be able to understand that writing is also different. Not only is the color of our skin different, and the way we talk different, and the way we see life differently, or the way we pray is different, but also the way we read and the way we take in knowledge is, I want to teach all of that through literature. And you totally can. You can totally teach all of that through literature. I could give you the lineup of what our literature books are going to be, but I'd rather do that completely separately because it's, I think, a long video, and maybe some of you might not want to watch it because everybody does it differently. I looked for, the all-encompassing curricula, and they're all good. Don't get me wrong. It's not about them. It's about me and what my kid would enjoy learning. I just can't find an all-encompassing kind of a thing ever. So we're going to stay eclectic, and we're going to stay piecemealing stuff together. I find it fun, and it really helps me kind of go in whatever direction I want with my own kid. So that is where we are. Okay, maybe that's not, maybe, I don't know. Is that a lot? Felt like a lot. It took me 2 months to figure it out, so it's a lot. If you're eclectic and you're kind of taking from here and stealing from here and pulling this idea from this location, please reach out and tell me who you are and what you are doing, because I don't see a lot of that, and sometimes I feel like I'm utterly alone, and am I doing this even right? So thank you, Paula Hillman. Let's go to her, because there's some books that I have been reading. I had mentioned something. It was in my February homeschool update about how we were going to do. I have been doing literature guides for Morgan to fill out after I read to her a chapter, but that's been causing our literature to go too slow. So thank you, Paula. You reached out and asked if I knew about Karen Glass's Know and Tell: The Art of Narration. I hadn't. I really like this book. This is now my current fave read. I've already started marking it up. And what I want to do is annotate it, take some notes, leave it, and then in the summer, I want to reread it again. It's really interesting because it's the only one I've seen where they give examples of when your 7-year-old begins to write after narration, and then a couple years later, what narration does and how it increases their writing. It's just really great to see. It's helpful and informative for me, so thank you very much for that. Then I have Make It Stick. This is my library book, and as some of you may know, I may or may not accidentally write in library books, and so if you're from Grand Forks and you pick this out, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't with this one. I have not written in this book because I think it's up here. Yeah, it's over there. I bought it and I'm writing in that one. I listened to this online. I like to do that, and then when I like a book enough, when I listen to it, I get it out of the library or I will buy it. So I'm in my second read. My first, I did Audible once, and then I was reading it, and now I'm into my second read. But this is so interesting. It really will wreck your mind when you realize some of the ways you've been studying are not the best ways to study. I want to learn this because I want to help Morgan learn how to learn. I want to show her ways to put things into her memory that she maybe is not doing, and there are a few things she has been doing on her own. It is really neat to see. So I want to take this apart over the summer, take some notes, and really use this. Use narration with our literature, using Know and Tell, some tips and tricks here, and also getting Morgan into the how to read a book, how to read certain types of books, how to read different genres, why we do that, why it's important. This is actually a really old book, How to Read a Book, The Classic Guide to Intelligent Reading by Mortimer Adler and Charles Van Doren. There have been several rewrites or additions or updated editions to this copy, but it is still, even the older one is still tried and true, so it doesn't matter which one you get. And I am also going to annotate this and really use these things to integrate what I have learned to help Morgan in the 5th grade learn even more. Because this kid, she's a sponge, and there's some days where she is so self-driven that she just wants to do her own thing, her way, which is great. I mean, she's not pushy about it. She's just, you can tell she's driven, and I want to encourage that, and I want to help her expand her knowledge through reading better, reading smarter, understanding why you're reading a certain thing, and how to narrate more, and how that makes everything stick in your mind. So that's where I am, and I'm interested in knowing where you guys are in your homeschooling planning. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Wherever you are, whoever you are, have a wonderful homeschool week. See ya.